Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're tuned in across the globe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so we have a lot to cover today, and we're going to be using ChatGPT. I need to set this up for a new chat. Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening. All right, so yeah, I have to monitor this from here. And of course, please feel free to leave me messages, leave me chats, your questions. We'll be answering questions and so on this call. Okay. My name is Sandra Adia Yebelo, popularly known as Sab. I am I'm going to be hosting this here to help our creators on the boot camp. Please feel free to engage with me, ask me questions, whatever questions you have, I'll be answering it as we work, okay? The title of today's class is The Story, how to come up with ideas and so on. So we had let me see if I still have that here. Yes, so let me just go and get this. Okay, so we have some challenges here. Aha, so we're going to be working on creating stories from nothing today, right? And I'm going to be showing you by processes how we can do it together, all right? So that when you want to come up with an idea, no matter what you're working on, I want us to be able to come up with concepts for different styles of creation, okay? So we're going to be telling stories in different forms. So I've asked the participants of the boot camp to give me challenges, for this particular class. So I'm going to be going back and forth between that group to pick up those challenges, and then we are going to be running with it for different styles of projects. Okay. So the concept, the most important thing, and what happens mostly is that creators always ask, is AI here to replace us, and how can they use AI for different types of stories? So that is what we're going to be doing today. I want to help you see that you can actually come up with stories for different styles, different genres, different anything that you can actually think about. You can come up with a story for it. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working on today. But I'm going to start off first with giving you the benchmark to creating good stories. So I'm not going to go into all the technicalities, breaking everything down here, because I already did that for the classes that we currently have on this channel. So go and check out the 30 plus classes we have for AI beginners. All right. But I'm going to give you the step by step because this is a boot camp and I want you to get started right now. All right. So we are on the clock. The three steps you need to creating a good story is to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And in this beginning, what you want to focus on doing is getting the problem, emphasizing the problem, and then providing your solution with the call to action. All right. Your solution is tied to the call to action. So let's do this together. All right. So I'm going to give my AI this prompt and say, hey, so I could have just voiced this instead of typing. Okay, so let's try this. Let me just voice, instead of typing. I think that would help us stick to time. All right, so let's do this. So I'm just going to Okay, so guys, I wanted to show you this because most times what I was asking for, or rather, for the people who are on the who are participating in the bootcamp today, I want you to realize something here. What I asked for was a prompt, right? A prompt can be anything. A prompt can be a color. A prompt can be an idea. A prompt can be a thought, right? It doesn't. Okay, so when I say a story prompt, basically, okay, so because I feel like prompt now is being used for AI, film, image generation, and so on, right? But when we talk about a story prompt can be anything. You can just tell me create a story about a pen. You can tell me create a story about a bird. You can tell me create a story about the color purple. You can tell me create a story about, so anybody can come up with a random idea, just like whenever we talk about social impact, right? Social impact issues revolve around the SDGs, like we always talk about, right? Hunger is an idea, right? Poverty, that's an idea. Female genital mutilation, that is a concept, right? All of these are ideas, and you need to have an idea before you start your story. So, for example, on AI Filmmakers Network, we have our weekly prompts. So these weekly prompts could be a sentence, it could be an idea, it could be, anything at all. For example, for this week, we are talking about creating, we told you to create a music video about a concept. We just gave you a concept and said, hey, the concept for this week is when I first saw you. It's the vague concept, but then what comes up is how can you interpret that concept and turn it into a story? And that is why I'm saying today you need to learn your concepts, no matter the concept at all, break it into three phases. Number one, what is the problem around that, that concept, that idea? For example, we can say female genital mutilation. If you want to look at it, it is so broad, right? But you need to calm down. You would have to, as the storyteller, narrow it down to something precisely and say, okay, so I want to talk about it from the concept of probably the eye of a survivor, or I want to talk about it from the concept of a health practitioner, or I want to talk about this concept from the eye of, so you come down, niche it down, narrow it down. So once you come down to that point, you now start to breathe the story out. Now, for example, using the concept of the female genital mutilation and taking the story from someone's, we now say, okay, it is coming from the concept of a health practitioner, for example. So how will this person tell this story? Guess what? We can tell this story as a film, as a documentary, right? As a documentary, that means the person is going to be, the health practitioner will be sharing their own story of probably the people they have seen, the places they have been posted to, the cultures of certain people. Now, this health practitioner is the one that will be relating the story to us. That is in a documentary style, right? So I'm just view before we now go into exploring this, okay, with some of the concepts that you have put on that group for us to work on. So if you have questions, feel free to ask, feel free to drop your comments, feel free to engage with me. I'll be reading your concepts and then I'll be helping you to, to craft a story. I want us to be able to craft a story because at the end of today, you'll be going back to craft a story. I'll give you a prompt. Everybody will have a prompt and then you will go back and craft a story on any genre of your choice. All right. So now, let's look at this. For example, I want to show you, we have talked about the concept of a story, working about it, but then the story only head as just an idea until you write it down. Okay, so let's do that together here and write a story together in this place. So I'm using ChatGPT. You can use, I have different writers here. I can use Gemini, I can use Claude, depending on you, but I feel like ChatGPT is quite easy to work with, so we're just going to work with ChatGPT straight up in here. So what I have provided you guys is the benchmark of how to work, how to tell your story. Number one, always have a fulcrum, have an anchor for your story. An anchor could be the character, an anchor could be the idea, an anchor could be, focus on an anchor for your story. That is number one. All right. And then build your story out of it. So every good story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So now, we are going to now do this together because I want to show you, some of us might be in different niches. So I want to be able to show you how to translate this into different niches. So we have an idea here. One of us posted this particular prompt to the group. Okay, so we're going to use this, and then we're going to tell ChatGPT here. Now, I have a story. Okay, I have a story. Okay, so let's start off. Before I turn this into a script, right? I have a story, and this is the story. Okay, so let's just go with it. So this is my story. I want you to turn the story. So this is my play, more than a prompt. But yeah, I want us to work on it together. Okay, so we're going to put this prompt that one of us dropped on the group for the boot camp. We're going to drop this here, and then tell this ChatGPT, this is what I want to give it. So I want it to generate 3 scripts for me with the structure I have given it. Remember, I already gave it the 3 structures, the three principal structure, how it's going to, right? So every story, no matter how you want to look at it, must have the beginning, the middle, and the end. But I now emphasized how I want my beginning, middle, and end to look like. There must be a problem, then emphasize the problem, and then the end, which is the call to action, or my solution. So for those who have taken my previous, you know what this means, right? So whenever I say the beginning, the middle, and the end, how do we translate this in storytelling? We say, number one, you must start off with the hook. So the hook is what? A problem. Then you must spiral and create more conflict. That's what? Emphasizing the problem. That is where you enlarge it, make it really engaging for your audience. And then what? Twist. The twist at the end is where you bring in your solution, or this translates into the same thing. The 3 steps principle always works for every story. So because I want to show you how this can translate to a vlog, to a documentary, and then to a drama, we are going to tell it this now. So this is my story concept. Let's put that there. You guys follow me. You're going to follow this exact thing to create your stories. This is my story concept. I want you to write a 3-paragraph script for one. We're going to do this as a vlog. 2, as a documentary. I don't want it to be long, but I want to show you. And then this is vlog, not blog. And then as a drama. So my 3 steps or principles still stands. Principles, P, still stands. Beginning, so I'm going to emphasize it. I'm trying to emphasize it to it just so that it doesn't miss anything I'm saying. Middle and end. So I'm doing this because of you, because I would have already configured my my AI and it will know how to write, but I'm showing you, like, as a beginner, you have no idea at all, but I want to show you that it's important for you to do this, how to do it, so that you can get good stories, right? And not shabby stories, like, generic stories. The AI, you just tell the AI, write me a story, and the AI writes you a story. If you don't have a direction, the AI will write you rubbish, okay? So I'm trying to show you how to get good stories that people would like to read or watch. So beginning, middle, and end. I'm re-emphasizing my 3 steps principles. Then these are my 3-step principle. I'm emphasizing it, beginning, middle, and end. And then I said problem, emphasize problem, and solution with call to action plus call to action. And then I go down again. I'm trying to emphasize it so that it is giving me exactly what I want. Remember, your AI is garbage in, garbage out. Then hook, chaos plus conflict, and twist. All right, that's my principle. All right, so pitch me 3 different scripts with 3 paragraphs covering each. Or let's just say, instead of scripts, let's go with stories so that we can read it. Then when we like the stories, we can now turn them into scripts. So let's go with stories. When we like them, we can now turn them into scripts. Okay, so let's pitch me 3 different stories with 3 paragraphs covering each niche I shared above with my principles. Just emphasize so that it doesn't deliver rubbish. All right, so you guys can take a screenshot. You can see this. Okay, this helps it to give me exactly what I want. Can you guys see this? So that line you gave is doing heavy lifting already. I'll treat self-esteem as the invisible character in all 3, and I'll keep your principle tight. Can you see this? Hook, chaos, twist, solution, CTA, 3 niches, 3 different energies, 3 paragraphs each. No loss. All right, so let's read it together. So as a vlog, so you guys know what a vlog is, right? Like an influencer trying to share their lifestyle. They put a camera, they set up a camera. They could be doing their life, moving around and whatever, and then the camera is just capturing it. So this is what a vlog looks like. So as a vlog, it is intimate, confessional, phone camera, honesty. Paragraph 1, the hook and the problem beginning. So I didn't plan to record this. That's how the vlog starts. The character has red eyes, low voice, and the sentence slips out almost accidentally. He means so much to me. Now you want me to leave him alone? I can't. Then I talk about how everyone keeps saying I'm losing myself, but they don't understand. This relationship feels like oxygen. Without him, who am I? The problem is clear but unspoken. My self-esteem has quietly packed its bags and left. So imagine this now as, you create an influencer character, and probably how people turn on their cameras for Instagram live or whatever live, and they're just talking, maybe with their satin bonnets, in their kitchen or their room, ring light, imagine it like that. And this character is just speaking all these things. And then look at paragraph 2. Then the crack shows. I replay moments I once defended, apologizing for things I didn't do, shrinking my dreams so he would feel threatened, needing permission to feel worthy. I laugh it off, then go silent. The chaos is internal, loving someone while slowly abandoning myself. You guys, can you see this? And then paragraph 3, the solution. And I breathe, I say it out loud. Maybe the real problem isn't him. Maybe it's that I forgot my value. The solution isn't dramatic, breakup energy, it's rebuilding self-esteem. So this character is vlogging. You see the ones in the quotation marks, those are the ones where the character is speaking. Okay, that's where the character is speaking. So if you are creating an AI influencer like that, and you just want to give that real vibe, this is it. The character, it has given you a script that you can use. You can always enhance this, but I'm creating it short so that you can easily see that you can translate one prompt into different ideas. Okay, so now as a documentary, let's look at this. All right. Okay, someone is saying slow down, please. Ask your question. I promised you guys 30 minutes, right? So I'm looking at the time while I'm talking, okay? Pardon me, all right? So it doesn't deliver rubbish. Yeah, that's the punchline, right? All right, so feel free to ask me questions. So that I can answer, all right? I'm trying to just show you so that you can easily, go back and do this yourself. If you have questions, ask, all right? I'm reading your comments while I'm also showing you. So the same concept that we used is what I'm here showing you for documentary style. All right, the same thing. It is the same prompt, but I'm showing you for three different styles. So if you're creating 3 different films, you're creating a vlog film, you can easily use this same, strategy. 3 ways, 3 principles, to always get a good script so that you're not getting rubbish scripts. Okay. If you just follow like every other person, you open your ChatGPT and just say, ChatGPT, write me a story. It will write you rubbish, something that will sound like everybody's own story. But I'm showing you how to get story that is your own. So follow this principle I just gave you now. The principle is make sure you are using hook, chaos, twist, solution, or call to action, which is beginning, middle, and end. Every story must have beginning, middle, and end. Even the rubbish that it will give you will have a beginning, middle, and end. But for you to make sure that it is concise and it gives you quality, that is why I'm showing you what you as a storyteller will do differently. Emphasize that in the beginning, it must have a hook or a problem. It must start off with gbas. That is what will catch your audience. All right? That is what we are saying here. There must be an instant problem that will trigger in the audience mind. Why should I be invested in this? That is what they'll be asking. So if you don't start off with a hook, imagine some people now watch today's videos. A lot of people, nobody is starting their videos with, hello guys. So I just wanted to tell you, no. You will see people tell you, wait, stop. Let me tell you this. If you do not do this in the next 7 days, you're going to die. Sorry, that's like extreme. But hook instantly. And you can do this with your drama. For example, you start off your drama with somebody throwing water on someone or spilling the wine from their cup on someone. That is hook, right? That is a problem on its own. You start off with a problem. Then you go on to start off with chaos, conflict, twist, and then you're like, okay, the chaos is, why did you just pour water on me? And then they go on, oh, you don't know why? Are you not the one that slept with my sister's brother? Whatever. You understand what I mean, right? This can translate to different ways. I'm just showing you how it happens for different things. So the reason I'm drama, right? Films are diverse. You can create a music video that starts off with someone jumping into a water, like maybe from the bridge down into the ocean, right? And then we just see the bubbles going up, and then we're wondering what happens, and then the sound starts to play. So I want you to be thinking about this as we are talking. The principle will give you different from what every other person is giving you out there, okay? I am giving you this principle. So let us look at it. We have looked at it from the point of view, right? The problem, emphasize the problem, and then of course the solution. Now, this is it for documentary. If you're doing a documentary as well, the same prompt that we used, right? But we are using it and translating that our prompt with the principle I just gave you. This is it. This is what the documentary will look like. The hook and the problem is the beginning. So the documentary opens with overlapping voices, friends, family, society, shouting, leave him, you deserve better. So they are talking to, remember that our participants shared a prompt with us. That's the benchmark of the prompt. So look at this. The prompt that the participants shared with us on the group is, he means so much to me. Now you want me to leave him alone. I can't. Remember. So that is why the documentary starts off like this. So the documentary is showing us that at the beginning, we have people chanting, like the society, her family, her friends are telling her, leave him. You deserve better. Then over it, her voice will now say, he means so much to me. Now you want me to leave him? I can't. That has already set up the documentary as a problematic documentary. So this is the problem. The problem is framed not as romance, but as identity. The narrator introduces the theme, how self-esteem traps people in emotional loyalty that cost them themselves. Then downwards, we see that we follow her daily life. At work, she downplays her achievements. At home, she replays old messages, searching for validation. Experts speak. So inside this documentary now, we'll have experts that speak, psychologists. We'll have life coaches. These are the experts that will speak about low self-esteem, how low self-esteem erosion doesn't look dramatic, but it looks normal. Then the conflict deepens when, footages are played. We see her, who she used to be. She used to be confident. She used to be expressive. She used to be loud. Then the twist is love didn't change her. Forgetting her words. Then we end the documentary with, the final act reframes the story. Healing isn't framed as leaving a man, it's returning to self. So we end the documentary. You see this now, the documentary closes with her beginning a structured self-esteem rebuilding process. Language shifts, posture changes, decision sharpens, then the narrator ends. When people learn to value themselves, relationship stops being prison and starts being choices. Do you understand? So can you see that we have used the same principle and structure to tell a documentary story? The same structure we use to tell a vlog story is the same structure we have used now to tell a documentary story. Now let's look at the last one for drama. This is drama now, the same principle here. So we start off hook and problem. So in drama now, the first part of it, problem and the hook, is rain, night. She stands in the doorway as her best friend begs her to stay. She turns back and whispers, almost angry, "He means so much to me. Now you want me to leave him alone? I can't." She slams the door and there is silence. So this problem is very loud. A woman choosing love over herself, even when it hurts. Do you understand? Now we have not started writing a script. 10:30. Okay, so we have about 5 minutes or so to wrap up. So you can see the chaos now. We go on and say inside the relationship there is tension. So we replay it. We start off with this hook here, and then people are wondering what's going on with her. Then in this part we can have a flashback. Inside the relationship we see the tension, how the tension brews. She cancels her plans. She doubts her instincts. Every argument ends with her apologizing. You understand? You guys can see the scenes. Can you already see the scenes in this? These are the scenes that you will use in your story. This is what will trigger your audience to talk. Today you want to be able to get your audience to interact. If they cannot relate with your story, they will not interact. All right? So you can already see this. Imagine you start off with this. Her best friend is begging her, "Please stay now." And she will say, "No, this man means so much to me. How can you tell me to leave him alone?" She slams the door and goes away. Then we do a flashback. Probably at this beginning here, we see that she has a black eye or something, or she's pregnant. Imagine, okay, look at even the conflict that, ChatGPT gave us. It's even a rainy night. So we can even intensify it and say she's a pregnant woman and she's even bleeding, or she has a broken eye. Inside rain, she will still drag herself and go. Even when because the man is packed in front of the house, poop, 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 calm down. And she will run down. And the friend is saying, "No, stay now, heal." And she'll say, "No, he means so much to me." And she slams the door and she goes to go and meet the man again. And everybody is already confused. Guess what? Your audience is already tuned in once you can hook them with that problem. Then you are now able to show the flashback or how the whole thing started, from when the tension started, how she used to cancel her plans, how she used to doubt her own instincts, and how every argument must end with her apologizing. You can see that here. You are showing scene by scene. This is your flashback. Then by the time you are done, you twist the whole thing. And then you are saying the chaos peaks when she overhears him casually dismiss her dream. You're not that kind of person. So for example, she wants to start a business and then she tells this man, and the man says, "You're not that kind of person." Or maybe he laughs, "You're not that kind of person now. No, nobody will buy from you." Imagine, so he downplays her like that, and then you will see the twist. She realizes that the voice holding her back sounds suspiciously like her own, right? And then solution. We now go back to solution. We can come back to probably, find a way to end it. You know how we usually do it in Nollywood. We say, "To God be the glory." We find a way to show maybe they did deliverance on her. Maybe something happened to her, and she chose herself at the end of the day. That is the end of your story. Can you guys see that? Who has been following here? Who is following this? So if you have been following, give me a in the comment section. If you have a question, please ask. All right, please ask me a question. All right, so that I can answer. All right, so now you guys have seen how the story structure works, right? This story structure now can be translated into a script. That is what we are going to do next. So in this same this thing now. So for you guys, you might be someone who is doing a podcast. So imagine you're doing a podcast. It will work like this for the vlog. your vlog style will still work. If you're writing maybe a drama for film or whatever, this is where your own falls in. So if you're doing any other style of narration, documentary style fits in. So that's why I chose this particular 3 styles, so that you can easily see this. Okay, so let's turn this into full scripts with dialogues. Okay, so we're going to tell ChatGPT, go ahead and turn the 3 pitches above into scripts for production with dialogue. So all right, so let us see this. This is what you need to produce your film now. All right, so if you're following me, let me hear. Okay, so does this concept work for writing very long story of 20 minutes long? Yes, I only wrote short because of this training. So your own now, let me tell you how to expand it into 20 minutes. So you are using the 3-step format, right? The 3-step format for you is to tell it you are going for 20 minutes. Okay, so for 20 minutes, if we are breaking 20 into 3 parts, that would be about 19, right? 19 minutes. So we can add the remaining 1 minute into probably the beginning, right? So you can choose to break your 20 minutes into beginning, middle, and end. So break it into 20 beginning, middle, and end, and say, okay, so for 5, if it's 5 minutes of this, 5 minutes of that, 5 minutes of this, that would mean that 5 minutes for beginning, 5 minutes for middle, 5 minutes for end. So that is 15 minutes total. So you can now choose to spread your other 5 minutes into maybe the beginning and middle, right? Or throw in the remaining 5, and put it for the middle, so that you have a large and middle, right? So this is me calculating for you. I want you to follow it. There is still maths inside production, right? So you're going for 20 minutes, right? But 20 minutes can be divided into 5 or 5 5 is the beginning. So you start with the hook and you make people invested. Your audience is like, what just happened? Why did this happen? Then they will not stay to watch. You will now use 10 minutes to make them feel very angry or very invested. They will start commenting, they will start sharing their own experience. Oh, this happened to me too. You must make sure that your audience can feel like that. If not, you have not told a story. Use that 10 minutes now. So that means you have used 15 minutes. Then your own, as the author, will now use 5 minutes to now say, guys, for example, if you have told a story about, maybe erosion or flooding, maybe in the last 5 minutes of your film, you now explain that help came, they were finally saved and they lived happily ever after. That's the last 5 minutes. Do you understand? So if you use that principle, all you need to do is say, I am using these 3 principles. I know the beginning, I know the middle, I know the end. This is my concept. This is how I want to tell this story. So the first 5 minutes, I must create a hook, something that will make people shout, something that will make people jump, something that will make people emotional. That's how you must start your first 5 minutes. That is, I'm using the person that is asking for 20 minutes now, right? Then when you have now made us invested in the first 5 minutes, you must make sure that your 10 minutes that follows must top that 5 minutes. Explain why we got that, taking us on a flashback. How did we get to that, beginning in the first place? So you will now use that 10 minutes and now show us, oh, before he used to slap her, he will now beg her and give her flour. The next time he poured hot water, he carried her to hospital. The next time, you must show us how that got to that point. Maybe we started from a burial scene, right? At the first 5 minutes. Then the next time we'll now say, and she now finally still died inside this thing. Then maybe at the end of it, if it's a documentary, you cannot bring an expert to now explain that, hey, domestic violence is a difficult thing and you don't have to stay there and die. Reach out to an expert. That is how to end it. Do you understand? So the beginning, middle, and end, always, every story must have it. But how to know a storyteller is one who has mastered these principles I am giving to you. All right? So I hope your question has been answered. Feel free to ask me questions. I'm reading your comments and I'm responding. All right. We're about to end. I have actually overspent time, but I'm hoping that, you're getting value from this. All right. So ask me questions. All right. So that's those same stories that I gave you, that we showed, that we just talked about. Look at it here. These same stories have been turned into a script. See the vlog on now. So the vlog now, if you're doing probably a podcast or you're doing, this can work for this type. Look at it. Vlog script. This is a script now. The format is, the title of the script is, I didn't plan to say this. The format, talking head vlog, phone camera, minimal edits, raw, whatever. So you can come up with your own concepts and create your AI avatar or your AI character that will be doing this right now. So paragraph 1 is beginning. That's the hook and the problem, of course. Interior bedroom, day. You can see the script now. So it turned this. So the speaker happens to be your character. I didn't plan to record today. Honestly, I wasn't even sure I should. And she exhales. Can you see this? It is showing the emotions, everything. Now, you have gotten your story. You like the story. This is it. Now, that is paragraph 1. That's scene 1. Okay. Now, this is paragraph 2. Look at it. I stopped wearing things I liked because he didn't like attention. Can you see how it's emphasizing the problem? It has stated the problem here at the beginning. I didn't plan to record today. Honestly, I wasn't even sure I should. Everyone, I'm reading only what the character is saying. Everyone keeps telling me the same thing, leave him. But he means so much to me, and now you want me to leave him alone? I can't. Then she goes on to say, maybe that sounds dramatic, but maybe it sounds weak. But when you've tied your word to someone for so long, walking away feels like erasing yourself. Then she goes on again, now emphasizing the problem. She's emphasizing the problem here. This is paragraph 2. I stopped wearing things I liked because he didn't like attention. I stopped talking about my dreams because they made him feel uncomfortable. Somewhere along the line, I became smaller, quieter. And the crazy part, I defended it. I told myself this is what love looks like. But today it hits me. Then she's still the one who, I'm not afraid of losing him. I'm afraid of meeting myself without him. Then paragraph 3, this is the solution now. Maybe the problem was never love. Maybe the problem was that I forgot my value. Then she continues again. So I'm choosing to rebuild my self-esteem, not overnight, not perfectly, but intentionally. If you've been struggling, if you've been shrinking just to be loved, this is your sign. Choose yourself. Start where you are. Can you imagine? This is a full script that you can actually use. People are doing it on YouTube today. Yes, they are creating characters that are talking like this because there is someone out there who is feeling like this. So this story will catch someone where they are, and then you cut to black. Now, let us look at the documentary script. The same concept, you guys, can you see that you can use it for every type of story? That is why I did this, so that when I give you a challenge, your own is to go and translate it. Use the principle. I did not say copy me. Use the principle to tell a story. All right? So this one now, this is documentary style. The title is Choosing Myself. The format is short form documentary, 5 to 8 minutes, voiceover plus interview plus B-roll. All right, so opening montage, it shows an urban street, morning routines, a woman staring out of a bus window. Can you imagine when you want to start creating the video, the visuals for these things? Can you imagine? It already gives you that. So overlapping voices, friends, family layered. You deserve better. Just leave. You've changed. Then her voice, that is the person, the inner voice or the voiceover. Okay, so the voice of the person that, that is telling the story. He means so much to me. Now you want me to leave him alone? I can't. The narrator of the documentary will now say, this is not a love story. This is a story about self-esteem and what happens when it quietly disappears. Then look at the middle. That is where we have started. Her family and her friends and everybody told her, leave him, just leave him. You deserve better. You have changed. Her own voice will now tell us, it means so much to me. Now you want me to leave him? I can't, Then the narrator of the documentary, because of course your documentary is supposed to narrate a story, will now tell us that this is not a love story. This is a story about self-esteem. It has hooked us already into being invested in that story. What is wrong with this woman? Why would she say that kind of thing? Everybody's telling her to leave him, but she doesn't want to leave him. Why? Now we want to know why. We now go into the middle. That is where the storyteller will now show us the real story behind it. So we see her. She is at work downplaying her praise. She's scrolling through old messages. She's watching couples in public. Then the narrator will now say, when self-esteem, this is the narrator of the documentary, while all those things are happening, you are generating images and videos and of these things. She's at work downplaying her praise, like maybe they're clapping for her and she's doing no, you people don't clap for me. Do you understand? We have a picture of that while the narrator is talking. Then we'll see her, she's scrolling through old messages, maybe only her. Every other person is somewhere, they're laughing, they're playing, but she will sit one place and she'll be scrolling. That shows isolation. Then we will also see she's watching couples in public. That shows that she wants something. She's looking out for something. She actually desires the thing that she's seeing, right? But she cannot get it. So the narrator's voice will be complementing the B-roll. The B-roll are those things that I've described for you, the scenes that I've described for you. That is the B-roll, okay? And while the narrator is speaking, so the narrator is saying, when self-esteem erodes you, it doesn't collapse loudly, it fades. It teaches people to accept less while asking for more love. Then the interview clip of her, that's the woman that we are documenting now, she's going to be saying, I didn't notice it at first, I just kept adjusting until there was nothing left to adjust. Then we cut to an expert, right? So the thing about documentary is not one-sided story. You must have different people share their opinion. Why this person is behaving like this? How did they get to this point? So the expert that we are having right now could be a psychologist or a life coach, and maybe in their office, and you create a picture of them and then they're talking to the camera, explaining the psychology behind the person who said, I didn't notice it at first, I just kept adjusting. And the psychologist or life coach will say, low self-esteem keeps people loyal to situations that harm them. Then we'll now twist back to old photos of her, probably in her childhood life when she was growing up. She used to be a confident, expressive child. Imagine showing that woman that was isolated, and as a young girl, she was the one that was raising her hand in class when they were asking questions. Imagine she used to be running around in the playground, and then the narrator of the documentary may now say, love didn't change her, forgetting her what did. Right? So that is us. We have emphasized the problem. Now look at this. The end part is the final scene. She's journaling, speaking affirmations, saying no in small moments. Can you see this? This is how documentaries usually progress, right? At this point, she has started taking her well-being seriously. And now she's saying, I'm learning that loving myself isn't selfish. It is necessary. Narrator, when people rebuild self-esteem, relationships stop being cages and start being choices. So at this point now, remember we have had B-rolls of her doing other things before. Now we can even have B-rolls of her now, maybe spending time in nature. You see, they said journaling. So journaling could be probably she's sitting under a tree. It shows peace of mind. Right? Then we show her new space where she has affirmations on the wall that says, I am enough, I am good, I am this. And then the narrator will be speaking. When people rebuild self-esteem, relationships stop being cages, and start being choices. Then the text on screen is reclaim your what? Rewrite your story. Bam, fade out. You have told a complete story. You guys, are you following me? If you're getting this, say If you're following me, say If you're getting the concept behind these types of stories, the principle behind telling a good story, type in the chat. Type in the chat. All right, so everyone, okay, so because she's stubborn, that's why. How can you be suffering and you don't want to leave? Okay, so that was a prompt that was given to us by a participant of the boot camp. So it ties up. We're just using that as a prompt. So today, the participants will be getting their own prompt to create a story from different niches. So we are looking forward to seeing this type of, stories being replicated across boards. Okay. All right, so that's the whole idea. So for drama script, you guys, you can see this, the same thing, the same concept, the same prompt that we are using, the same principles translates to different niches. So if you're writing an action film, you can use the same principle. If you're, I'm saying writing, if you're creating an action film, you can use the same principle. If you're creating a music video, you can use the same principle. If you're creating whatever, I just want to show you the principle of storytelling. Make sure that you are not, especially in the age of AI, the reason I'm emphasizing this and I'm taking my time to explain this is because a lot of people already think that when you are creating, when you say you are an AI filmmaker or you are an AI storyteller, you are a lazy person. That's what they already think, right? So we need to show them differently that, hey, because I'm using AI doesn't mean that I am creating lazy content. No, I am actually putting in the work. So you need to understand the principles, right, behind creating a good story, not just throwing an idea into AI and saying, oh, AI, create me a story. No, don't do that. As an AI filmmaker, as an AI storyteller, you must understand the principles. Give the AI the direction. Tell the AI, this is how you must tell my story. The AI is only optimizing your work. So the time you will use to put your pen and paper, to start writing for 30 minutes, the AI will do it in like 5 minutes for you. That is the only difference we should see. Not that your work becomes shabby or sloppy like they always say. Like a lot of people are saying AI slop, AI slop. That's because the work feels simple and easy and lazy to them. So why I am teaching you these principles is so that you are not doing anything lazy. You are not doing a lazy work. You are doing work that will translate to something. All right? That people can see that, hey, there is an effort in this. They're not just seeing AI story. They're seeing a creator using AI to tell a story. I hope you understand that. Now, let us examine the last concept that we did here. So, drama script. The title of this drama is The Cost of Love, and the format is short drama, 7 to 10 minutes, especially for those who will be submitting to our festival. Take note of this. Don't go and create a shabby story. Make sure you use this principle and create a good story that people will watch and remember. When they remember the story, they'll say, who did that story? That's what we want in the next festival. Our festival, the deadline is the 3rd of March. Make sure that you are sending in your film now before the 3rd of March. You can be featured in the April Film Festival. All right. So this is a drama script that says The Cost of Love. The format is a short drama. So look at this. The same concept, whatever we have done before. Paragraph 1, this is scene 1, right? The scene 1 says her best friend blocks the doorway. Please just stay tonight now. Imagine, and the friend is gripping her bag. So she grips her bag and she says, she herself, firmly emotional, he means so much to me. Now you want me to leave him alone? I can't. She pushes her friend away, slams the door and runs into the rain. Remember, it is raining. Look at it up here. Exterior, apartment, corridor, night, rain. She runs into the rain. Do not care about herself, whether she will fall sick if she runs into that rain. No, man is important. The man means so much to her and she cannot leave him. Everybody is telling her to leave him alone. She can't. Can you see that? There's a conflict already. The audience will be angry. The audience will be invested. That is what you want. The moment your story opens, you must hook them like this. Psychologically. Now, paragraph 2, which is where I'm just using this, but I've given you the principle. You can use this same principle to create a 1-hour story. You can use this same principle to create a 2-hour story. You can use this same principle to create a 5-minute story. You can use this principle to create a 20 minutes or 30-minute story. Whatever you want to create, just know the principle. Now look at this. When we expand it and emphasize the problem, interior, boyfriend's apartment, night. The argument is midway. Boyfriend, you're not that kind of person. Let's be realistic. Imagine, look at it. He's being dismissive. Can you see that there? Boyfriend, dismissive. You are not that kind of person. Let's be realistic. Her face freezes. That is this woman who has run through the rain to come to the boyfriend. Probably she was telling them, when the scene opens, she probably has told him an idea and he says, you're not that kind of person. Let's be realistic. Her face will now freeze. So imagine you're creating this as a film. They zoom in to her face as her face freezes. Then we will see flash cuts. That is like flashbacks, right? Like snappy flashbacks. One time she canceled her plans. The other time she was apologizing. The next time she was shrinking. This is when her face is frozen, right? It's like as soon as the guy said this thing, something in her head just snapped, like bam, and then she has this flashback, like fast, pam, pam, pam. One time she canceled her plans for him. Another time she was apologizing to him. The next time she was shrinking herself for him. So this is still her face frozen. So you go flashback and flashback, flash front again. And now she will now say, why do I sound like you? Then she will now look at herself. At this point, when you're flashing front, probably she's the only one in her room sitting and facing a mirror. But the boyfriend's sound was in her head all the while. So she will now be questioning herself in the mirror, saying, why do I sound like you when I talk to myself? That means that somebody has actually berated her, and that person's voice has been sounding in her brain, in her head all the while. Now, paragraph, which is the end, she packs her small bag. Now, interior apartment and dawn. She packs a small bag, calm and clear, and her voiceover. So probably she's going for maybe therapy or whatever. We can see her doing some things, maybe pack her bag, close her door, close her window. She's leaving the old behind. That's what we'll be showing. Maybe gets into her car, turns on the ignition and starts to drive while her voiceover will be playing. I thought loving him meant losing myself. I was wrong. Then she walks out into the morning light. Then the text on screen says, the moment you choose yourself, the story changes. Cut to black. You have created a cool, complete story. Do you understand this? Are you guys with me? All right. So I see a comment here. So it means that whether you create with AI or doing conventional film, the story principle is the same. Bam, you got it. Bam, absolutely. You got that. So the whole idea behind this is to make you guys understand that the tool that you're using to tell your story. Before, we used to use cameras, lights, crew, and so on. But the principle of telling the story is the same. The only thing that has changed now is that you are not calling crew and lights and, having a huge camera. But the principle must be the same. Don't relegate your thinking and your thoughts and the principle to AI. You must guide it. You must direct it. You must be the one to pilot the story so that when we watch it, we can see that, hey, somebody actually put in work here. Okay? All right. So thank you so much for watching today. Do you still have a story? Do you still have a question? I'm about to close this. We actually spent some time here. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. If you have questions, please ask. I'm going to be locking this particular live. This live stream will not be open to everybody because it's a bootcamp live stream, right? Until those who are done with their bootcamp, they paid to be in this bootcamp. So we are going to be locking this. This is not for everyone. This is just for them. So if you caught it while it was live, congratulations to you. Okay, congratulations to you. So please go and use what you have learned today. We're not going to be sharing this out to everybody, all right? But if you have learned today, use it. We'd love to see how you use this and translate it. So for those who are part of the boot camp for this week, look on the group right now. You'll be getting your assignments, okay? You'll be getting your assignments now. So I want everyone to create a story. You will be creating a story for any niche at all. So you are here to create. Like I said to you guys, you are not here to just sit back, learn theories and go and sleep. No, you will create. So go back into the group. The assignment will be dropped on the group right now. All right. So thank you everybody for being part of this. You are free to use the group to ask your questions. I'll be answering you guys. I'll be giving feedbacks. I'll be giving, on that group. But for now, this is bye. We'll be back again tomorrow morning for the next class. All right. See you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.